Really excited about my guest today. He is Sam Bobley, the CEO of Ocrolus. It's a document automation software company that has done really well over the last probably decade. Sam started it at a young age. He's raised over $100 million in venture capital. He's been named to the Forbes 30 under 30 in finance back in 2020 and a number of other accomplishments. So, Sam, welcome and thank you for joining me.
Thanks so much, Shane. Excited to be here.
Great to have you. Been looking forward to this for a little while now. We've met before, but catch the folks up on a little bit, anything else on your background, and then how you got started with Ocrolus.
I started the company when I was 22 years old, right out of college. And we had the idea to change the way that financial documents were reviewed. When we started building Ocrolus, the review of bank statements and other financial documents was insanely manual. These documents are reviewed page by page, line by line. And my business partners and I thought of a new system to analyze financial documents of any format or quality with over 99% accuracy every single time. And that ability to achieve perfect accuracy on every single document, regardless of if it's an electronic PDF or an image or a scanned file, was pretty unique and new at the time. We actually started the company originally to solve this use case for attorneys and accountants who were reviewing high volumes of paperwork. But pretty early on in the journey, we discovered the industry of small business funding. We recognized the massive amount of documentation, particularly bank statements and tax documents that small business funders review every day. And we made a decision to really focus the business on automating workflows for small business funders. Turned out to be a great decision, and it's been an amazing journey over the last 10 plus years. But we still feel that we're in the early stages of the company's long-term potential.
Like where you're at today, and now with going into new technologies and everything else, how has it changed since you started?
I would say that the small business funding industry has changed a lot since we've started. When we started in small business funding, this was around 2016 or so, it was still a pretty small and not that well known of an industry. We saw this opportunity and it just immediately resonated us, right? Like small businesses, they are in need of capital. Newer businesses that don't have traditional credit profiles, they struggle to access capital from banks. So this new wave of funders popped up, folks like Strategic Funding Source, Capitus, OnDeck, Can Capital, et cetera. Those were kind of the big names when we were getting started. And they really led the way for this full industry to be created and to grow. So over the last 10 years, as I've been doing this, I've seen, one, the small business industry has grown significantly. We've seen platform lenders enter the industry, a lot of new entrants enter the industry. Lenders that are in the industry are starting to do bigger ticket size loans, but also there's been a massive evolution on the technology side. When Ocrolus first started in the industry, even the most tech-forward funders were reviewing documents page by page, trying to calculate what is the revenue of this business, what's the debt capacity of this business, has the business taken a loan from a competitor, et cetera. It was typically taking something like 24 to 48 hours to reach a lending decision. And that was considered fast, by the way, like compared to banks and the existing processes, that was already light years ahead of where these guys were.
Sure.
But fast forward until today, it's been amazing to see the automated solutions. I think Ocrolus has led the way with cash flow analysis, but these days there are all sorts of automation around cash flow analysis, know your business verifications, loan origination systems, and just perfecting the end-to-end process where some small business funders are even making instant or near instant decisions today. So it's been amazing to see the evolution of the space as a whole, but also the technology components that drive it.
Amazing. I would agree with that from my perspective of being in it and on working for funders, and then now kind of on this side of media and information, a lot of different players, and the automation is incredible. What has your journey been like now? At this point, you're well-established, industry leader, almost kind of entry into this specific niche. What has it been like for you as a startup founder?
It's been an unbelievable journey. It's been a true roller coaster. We've been fortunate to have a lot of success over the years, but we've definitely navigated through tough times. Starting in small business lending in 2016 to 2020 or so, that was a great run as the industry was getting off the ground. We supported a lot of our early customers in growing their business and scaling up the number of applications that they can process. Then in 2020, COVID hit, small business lending funding almost went to zero overnight as businesses were forced to shut down and funders didn't know exactly how to deal with the uncertainty. Then there was a wave of Paycheck Protection Program loans and government stimulus. Then there was a return to small business lending. Then there was 11 consecutive interest rate hikes. Then the world started coming back to normal. Now there's tariffs. So there's always kind of an up and down journey along the way. And navigating that has been an amazing experience. At Ocrolus, we try to control what we can control. So just focus on what's directly in our control and try to navigate the broader forces at hand. But I think in reflection, I really appreciate now how important it is to have such a long-term mindset when building this startup, right? Like a lot of people get into a startup and they think it's going to be a quick journey. You try to build for a couple of years and go to an exit. And I don't think that is the right mentality to build a successful company. At Ocrolus, we have a very long-term view. I've been doing this now 10 plus years. And as I mentioned earlier, like we still feel that we're in the early innings of the long-term potential of building a multi-billion-dollar company that can really be a generational company impacting the way that lending is done. It's been a ride. I've learned so much along the way. I have a lot of battle scars, been punched in the chin, have dealt with all sorts of craziness, but I'm proud how the team has been resilient, persevered, and continued to grow through thick and thin and really put the company in an excellent position for long-term success.
Incredible. And so drill down a little bit now, if we get back to kind of how you're helping clients, it's processing speed, it's accuracy. What else do you want to say about how you're really helping clients? And business lending, of course, is one of your biggest markets, I guess, but you also do some consumer. Overall, what would you say?
Yeah, I think you hit the two main points, which is faster and more accurate decisions. But I would really highlight the accuracy piece and risk management. In asset classes like small business funding, nailing the underwriting process and the analytics that go into a lending decision is very critical for a funder's ability to scale their business. I've been in the space long enough now where I've seen both the success stories of Capitas, Fora Financial, On Deck, folks that have really scaled to do massive origination volumes. But I've also seen the graveyard of companies that were small business funders when I was getting started, have gone out of business, some don't make it too far and so forth. And I think a key element there is defaults, first payment defaults, fraudulent deals slipping through the cracks, and not having the right kind of risk management and assessment process in place. For Ocrolus, we have always focused on accuracy as the first and foremost value proposition. And then over time, we've worked backwards to make the product faster and more automated. In other words, like from day one, we gave over 99% accurate data on every single document we processed. Back in the day, it required more manual intervention from our side where we had Ocrolus data verifiers cleaning up the data, making sure it was perfect before it was returned to the customer. But accuracy was always the foundation. And the reason for that is it is critically important for a small business funder to have an accurate assessment of a business's revenue. Have they taken a loan from a competitor? Is the business owner engaging in any gambling or crypto transactions or other types of risky behavior that might make the funder less interested in funding that deal? These analytics are absolutely critical. Missing even one little thing in terms of a position or a revenue miscalculation can lead to the wrong funding decision and can lead to a first payment default, which then has follow-on effects in the sense of your book is not performing, it's harder to attract new sources of capital, and you cannot scale your business. So accuracy and risk management is the bread and butter of Ocrolus. But then over the years, because we verify all of this information, it has allowed us to be on the cutting edge of machine learning and AI, where we can take all of the processed data. Of course, it's great for the customer to get perfect, accurate data, but it's also fantastic for us to have perfectly accurate training data that we can use in a feedback loop to constantly teach our system to get smarter and smarter. Today, the vast majority of documents we process at Ocrolus, we can process instantly in 4 seconds or less and give you perfectly accurate data. That evolution and that kind of combination of focus on accuracy and then improving speed over time, I think has really made an impact in helping our lenders grow and scale their business.
Kind of leads into my next thing. Is there any new tools or features that you can expect to see or that you can divulge? Obviously, AI has a huge impact on your business. Talk a little bit more about that.
I'll talk about it in kind of two parts here. One is on the AI side, Ocrolus continues to be at the cutting edge of document automation. From day one, we never tried to build our own system in terms of OCR, optical character recognition, or kind of the underlying technology that extracts information from documents. What we did instead of building our own system is we built a gateway service where we can select the best open and closed source technologies for the document type at hand. So we have partnerships with Google, Amazon, OpenAI. We have integrations into open source libraries, and we're able to select the most effective tool based on the document at hand. And we can actually do that within a document level. So for example, a certain form might come in and there might be one technology that's more effective at reading the header information and a different technology that's more effective at reading the substance of the document. So we can select the best tool and technology for the job at hand. And as the underlying technology, as large language models and other AI inputs continue to get smarter, we integrate those technologies and give the end benefit to the customer, which in turn comes out in terms of faster response, right? More and more documents being able to be processed instantly. On the other side of the business, again, what we really view as the most critical element of the business is analytics. Over time, if you take a step back, processing documents or connecting data digitally, that's just the piping of getting bank data. And over time, both of those things are being commoditized. It's easier and easier to read information off of documents. It's also easier and easier to connect bank accounts to a fintech partner like a Plaid or Finicity to retrieve data digitally. Those two things are just the piping. The value add on top is the business intelligence and vertical specific lens. What does that mean? It means fraud detection. Understanding, is a document tampered or manipulated? Is a borrower suspicious? Is it potentially an account takeover? Is it potentially a shelf life company? Is it a synthetic identity fraud, right? Like doing all of this type of analysis of the borrower and also going very, very deep on the analytics side. One benefit of Ocrolus is we've now seen 10 million plus small business applications over time. We're processing over 500,000 credit applications every single month, and we have a huge view into the overall industry and the applications are coming through. So what this means is we can create really exciting and unique analytics benchmarking products. So for example, something that we recently rolled out that our customers really liked a lot was something that we called Analytics Wrapped. I'm not sure if you are a Spotify listener, you might have gotten your Spotify
Oh,
Wrapped.
that's right. Yeah, Spotify Wrapped. Yep.
Exactly. So it shows you kind of like, hey, here's your most popular artists and here's the songs you've listened to. And it can kind of scare you about how many hours you spent with your AirPods in. But in any case, we did our own version of that at Ocrolus, where we can take a funder's population and show them how that population benchmarks against the broader Ocrolus data set. So it's very interesting for these funders to understand, okay, what is the quality of businesses that are being submitted into my operations? What's the average revenue of these businesses? How many loan sources do they have? How risky are these businesses? We're now layering in industry data so you can actually see, hey, if I'm reviewing a trucking company, how does that trucking company's revenue stack up against the broader database of trucking companies that Ocrolus has seen over time? So these types of deeper portfolio analytics, we've seen really fantastic value in our initial rollouts of that, and we want to keep improving there. So I'd say, in summary, continuing to lead the way on AI, making document review as fast as accurate as possible, and going very deep on analytics and leveraging the historical database of applications that Ocrolus has seen to give greater insights to our customers in terms of risk scoring process.
And they can make adjustments then more quickly, right? So if they're seeing something changing in the market and their deals month to month, week to week, whatever it may be, then that data comes to them kind of in real time or available anyway, right?
That's exactly right. And we want to get to a place where our customers are making proactive changes, not reactive changes, right? Like especially with some of this different industry fluctuation, geography fluctuation, like it's hard to, many lenders still don't have a very good portfolio-wide view of everything that's coming into their doors. So I think we started by doing analytics on a deal-by-deal basis. Now we're taking a step back and helping our funding partners understand their broader portfolio and really craft a strategy that will lead to the highest conversion rate and ultimately growth and scale of the funding business.
Some of these analytics that you're providing from your platform aren't going to be just from, so if you have even newer funders out there that have kind of, maybe they buy plug and play software or something like that, these are going to be advanced analytics that even if you have whatever their workflow is, they're still going to want to dive deeper. And even the more experienced ones that aren't using your service yet, that's, as you say, the value add. The deeper they go, the more their portfolio is going to perform well for them.
Totally agree. And we aim to service customers across the stack. We have customers doing a few applications a month that are just getting started and want to learn the space and grow their business. And then we have folks like Square and PayPal and OnDeck who are doing billions and billions of dollars of origination volume per year. And the analytics suite is designed to both both cater to those early customers who want basic analytics and attributes to help launch and grow their funding business. But then if you scale up to a PayPal or a Square and on deck, these companies have extremely sophisticated data science teams. They're doing all sorts of modeling, and our analytics fuels that. So we offer 500 plus different cash flow analytics, kind of a really long list of different things that a small business lender might want to understand about a business's financial health. We've had the benefit of network effects. We didn't invent all of this ourselves. I think we did a good job of just listening to customers and over the years adding in the different metrics and attributes that we found to be impactful in risk. And really just to hammer it home, I know you kind of led up front of, hey, we're the leading document automation company. We really think of ourselves as a data analytics company.
Okay.
Again, the document automation piece it's the pipe to get there, and operational expense, that was the first value, right? We can do the work faster, more cost effectively, and we help you with OpEx efficiency. But the deeper value is decision. If we can help you with risk management and making better decisions, that's where it really impacts the customer's bottom line. For example, with use cases like PayPal and Square, we support all of their analytics, even on digital data. So if Square gets a borrower to link their Plaid bank account and they're getting transactions from Plaid, Square's routing those transactions to us. We're performing our analytics that are tuned to small business specific use cases, and we're helping them ultimately make better decisions. So going deeper on the analytics and building services that cater both to the new guys getting started all the way up to the most sophisticated fintech companies in the world.
Where does Ocrolus go from here, whether it be short-term, long-term, anything that you want to share?
In small business lending, we want to continue going deeper on being a single source for credit evaluation for funders. So today we have bank statement data, cash flow analysis as our core. Over time, we are building more sophisticated scoring products that leverage credit data, KYB data, proprietary Ocrolus information from historical applications, and really creating this kind of beautiful credit assessment of a business borrower. I think we're in such a unique position to do it. If you look at Equifax and D&B and TransUnion and kind of the big credit bureaus, they have great coverage on overall businesses in the country. But what they don't have coverage on is true small businesses, newer businesses that don't have traditional credit history. That segment of the universe, that's what Ocrolus has built coverage on over the last 10 years. And we now have such a powerful database that we can fuel really unique credit scoring products. Beyond small business lending, we have launched a mortgage lending business. We launched that business in 2021. So small business lending was kind of the focus of the business for a long time. As we were growing, raising more money from venture capital firms, et cetera, we made the decision to try to replicate the success we've had in small business lending in mortgage lending, which is an extremely document intensive space. Not sure if you've gone through a mortgage, but it's insane. Bank statements, pay stubs, tax forms, property appraisals, purchase agreements, hundreds of pages can be contained in a mortgage application. And it's a very outdated process, the way that the review is done today. I mentioned small business lending. It was kind of 1 to 2 days to a funding decision when I started. And now many funders are doing same day or very fast, even 1 hour or less type funding decisions. In mortgage, the average time to close is more like 45 to 60 days. And document review is a long pole in the tent. So we are working to shave that process. We now have about 150 mortgage customers on the platform. That business is growing. Small business is still the largest area of Ocrolus's business, but we believe over time, mortgage will continue to grow as well. So we want to continue going deeper in small business and replicate the success we've had in mortgage and really be thought of as the leading AI-powered data and analytics company across these two verticals.
I think you have huge potential, given the success in small business lending, to really impact the mortgage lending side and the process and workflow, because I think everyone would agree they want that to be shorter. I think it plays into all kinds of things, whether it be loans and SBA loans to mortgages. How do you shorten that, which helps the business owner, the consumer, and all the above? So I look forward to that when you guys get that nailed down, as I'm sure you will. Sam, I really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to add, you want to share with the audience?
I think you hit on a key point there at the end. We spent a lot of the time talking about the impact that we have on funders, helping funders make faster, more accurate decisions, helping them scale their business, helping them attract new capital sources, et cetera. But I think the extension of that, and the more important point, is helping end borrowers. What's really cool about the job is, in reflection, we have now enabled millions and millions of borrowers to gain faster access to credit. And when you chat with small business owners or chat with folks who are in need of a refi refi or to move to a new home. Like these are important life events. And it can be very frustrating for someone to go to a lender, not get an answer, not get the answer they're looking for, not get the appropriate help. And Ocrolus is an infrastructure company where we're helping funders, of course, but the end goal to that is to help the end business or the end consumer get faster credit and in a fairer and more equitable process as well. That's kind of the DoubleClick mission that really keeps us motivated. Us and our funding partners are working together to lower the cost of capital and make the process more efficient for these borrowers who need money for important events.
That's very well said. I like the DoubleClick mission. That's a good one with really summing it up as far as, fewer clicks and everything else for people to actually get things done. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. We will talk in the future. Continued success to yourself and your company.
Thank you so much, Shane. Really appreciate you having me on and look forward to chatting soon.
All right. Thanks, Sam.